The fog was clearing that June night, being replaced by a light mist and a cool breeze. As the cold water perforated my face, I thought to myself, why hadn't I checked the weather report before heading to the pharmacy? An umbrella would have made this walk home a little more bearable. You know what? It's not a big deal. Home is less than a mile away, and it's not worth paying the $10 for a ride. Besides, the cold muck would give me an excuse to soak in a hot bath when I get home and put off my work until tomorrow. It's settled then. I'm going to walk. I stepped to the crosswalk and pressed the button, waiting patiently for the little green man on the sign to say it was safe to cross. Looking around, though, I noticed how asinine this was, considering there were literally no cars outside. I've always loved this part of town. Nestled in the hustle and bustle of a bigger city, it seems like a refuge of old architecture breathing life into commerce. The old 2-story brick buildings all used to be something else, but now they hold something newer. The Dollar Theater across the street used to serve as an actual theater house, hosting plays and live performances. The florist shop on the corner where I stood was once a place of cutlery, and even the pharmacy I just left was once a hardware store, dispensing tools and supplies to a growing community that one day said we're big enough and no longer need you. Oh shit, the green man says go. I recall thinking to myself, what would my mother say hearing me curse out loud, or did I just think it? No matter. The rain began picking up as I crossed the street. Not quite monsoon style, but definitely letting us mortals know how little we were compared to Mother Nature. As I walked past the last area of the storefronts and began to step into the residential streets, a massive boom struck behind me. The sky lit up with a brilliant illumination, reminding us mammals why shelter was a good thing. Oh shit, I'm doing it again. I'm staring up at the sky, lost in the beauty of it. The rain is really picking up, and I clutch the pharmacy bag in my hand, knowing how important it is and fearing the water was going to somehow harm its contents. I said that vile word again. God, what would my mother think? Shaking my head, I clear my mind and focus. I stick the bag in the left pocket of my trench coat as the rain begins a full-blown downpour. I've got to get out of this. Home is 1 block up and 4 blocks over, but there's not very many trees on this street to help shield me from the rain. If I were to cut through the alleyways here at the end of Commerce District, I could save myself some serious time and use the overhangs of the building to shield myself from the rain. Of course, the only question is there anything else in the alleyway doing the same? The thunder cracked across the sky, causing me to jolt and fall backwards. I'm soaking wet on the sidewalk. Screw it. I've got to get home. The sky began to light up continuously, as if some Greek deities were waging war above us. Using that light, I began trotting quickly towards the dark alleyway. I looked at the 2 buildings that were forming the opening to the pathway behind. The 2 old brick structures stood as they had for 60 years, making me wonder how many before me had taken this ominous, dark path for similar situations. That thought brought me some sort of relief as I entered the darkness. 4 blocks down the alleyway, 1 block up, and I'm home. The rain itself didn't seem to be as bad, since the overhangs and old fire escapes shielded a lot of the water from falling down upon me. The dark, narrow path was barely wide enough for a single car, but with the garbage cans and other forms of debris scattered throughout, it was pretty apparent the vehicles hadn't come this way in some time. The sound of endless dripping echoed throughout the alleyway, muffling the sound of my own footsteps. It seemed as if the darkness itself had silenced me from existence. 20 feet in, I passed the first threshold of garbage and debris. It was here I found the pathway opened up.